Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'll wait till everybody gets here. Volume good. Got some breaking news on Mount MERAPI. What's happening, everybody? Everybody having a good day? Cold in the UK? It's been pretty decent here. A little cloudy, but no complaints. Didn't get any rain. We were supposed to get rain here yesterday, I think it was. It didn't rain in our little area. What you guys are watching is a simulation of all of the earthquakes over a 15-year period, above like 2.0 or something like that. Then we're going to get into a breaking story out of Central Java. The asteroid that impacted, did a video about it yesterday. Well, apparently less than 48 hours after that event, the volcano erupts. Unbelievable. I'm not saying that they're directly related, but what a coincidence. Just incredible. Sent ash nearly 4 miles into the sky. You're going to see the eruption here in just a minute. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Just getting things together, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Following some weather activity also coming into Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. In fact, watching it right now. We may take a look at it on the radar if I see anything pop up. And then you guys can let me know too if you're there, what's happening. Looks like it's just starting to move into west central Texas. Actually, east central. Pretty good sized system. Could see some tornadoes, so just be ready. It doesn't hurt to be ready. And then if you don't need it, hey, that's great. But there could be some tornadic activity in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Pretty good chance. No guarantee, but it's a possibility. All right, guys, all right, here we go. Just mind-bending stuff here. Okay, here's the story about the volcano. Mount MERAPI erupts and spews ash 6 kilometers up into the sky. This article was posted earlier today at 1:13 in the morning. This eruption occurred less than 48 hours ago after the asteroid that you guys all saw. We're going to take another look at it. Went right to the left of the screen. Right behind the column of smoke and ash right there. back on the 1st, the morning of the 1st, in Indonesia, Central Java, and there was a very large explosion. The sky lit up, and that event occurred at around 6 o'clock in the morning. This event occurred around 5:22 in the morning. And you can see Central Java was just engulfed in ash. Look at that. This was just hours after the asteroid. Unbelievable. The international airport in Solo was closed later on. And this was today, actually, this morning. There's a look at it. We're going to take a look at the video here in just a minute. But what a coincidence. Oh my goodness. Here's the eruption. Hang on, I'm going to find the eruption. I've got it right here. All right, here, it's coming at you. This was earlier this morning. Check it out. It's right here on this website. You can find linked below in the description box. And in the right-hand corner, you see that asteroid, that very low trajectory asteroid that came in less than 48 hours ago. Now, that's something you don't see every day. How about that? Pretty decent size eruption. Went about 4 miles high. Now, 2 days earlier, we saw this. Same volcano. Look at that. Now, the volcano on that day was quiet. Asteroid disappears behind the volcano. Big bright flash. And then today, we see an eruption. Here's a closer look at the low trajectory asteroid. And long duration too. That was visible in the field of view for 15 seconds. So it's no telling how long it was in the atmosphere. Probably well over a minute. And there's a big bright flash right there. And then less than 48 hours, the volcano erupts. Not that they're related, not to my knowledge that would have any influence on the 10,000 foot tall volcano, but nevertheless, that is one wild coincidence. And we have to keep in mind, though, it is Indonesia's most active volcano, and there's several down there. It goes on to say it sent a 6 kilometer, about 4 mile column of ash into the sky, and it triggered the closure of an airport in the nearby city of Solo on Java. The eruption of Mount MERAPI on the main island of Java also unleashed serine gas clouds 2 kilometers down the slopes. Indonesia's Geology and Volcanology Research Agency said on its website. The agency said villagers living on MERAPI's fertile slopes were asked to move 3 kilometers away from the crater as the ash made the rain thick and muddy in several villages. Said the eruption lasted almost 8 minutes after it began erupting at 5:22 a.m. on Tuesday. That would have been early this morning, and warned a risk of further eruptions due to continuing movements of magma. The volcano is a popular site for tourists, and its fertile soil is also farmed. So, big eruption right after a rare asteroid impact. And I think the asteroid impacted in the ocean. No telling what it brought with it. from outer space. I'm sure we've got new microbes in the Indian Ocean now, of some sort. Probably brought some little creatures from space, little microbes from somewhere, wherever it came from. That was a pretty good sized asteroid. See if I can find that map where I triangulated the impact, or possible impact. I don't know that it did or not because we couldn't see the ocean behind, you know, so it could have. Then again, it may have just exploded in the air, but it was going at a fairly steep angle, as you can see. Oh, here we go. All right. Here's the direction that the asteroid came from. And if my angles and everything are correct, it came in from the north-northeast, went past MERAPI on the south-southeast, and it was traveling southwest, and it went out into the ocean. So I'm sure this probably happens all the time, considering Earth is 70% water. The majority of the asteroids and fireballs are over the ocean. That's just numerically the way it's going to unfold. But we don't normally see them. And yes, they do bring debris from space. Absolutely. It's not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last. Pretty cool, though. Here's another look at just the asteroid from literally less than 48 hours ago. There's confirming it was MERAPI. It was February 29th here, but it was already March 1st over there. Just incredible. And see the angle? The angle's fairly steep. So to me it looks like, see how it's going down? It looks like to me it made it to the ocean. Because there's like a 5 or 6 second delay after it goes behind the volcano. And then the bright flash right there. So it very well could have made it to the ocean. I don't know. But that was a phenomenal moment. Unreal. And then for the volcano to erupt less than 2 days later is even more incredible. All right, guys, I'm going to switch topics here for a minute, and I also have some photos that a person was asking for. If you're watching today, I'm going to post them in this live stream. I did find them. You were wanting the photos. I got a few of that portal looking thing that we saw in the sky. I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. I do have those photos. I'll show them here in just a minute. This was sent to me by D. Whitaker, and it's something he found down on the coast of Antarctica. I don't know what this is. I'll put the coordinates down in the description box where this thing's at, and you guys can definitely go check it out. You may have seen it. I don't know. It's the first time I've seen it. I have no idea what this thing is. It's right on the coast of Antarctica, sent to me by D. Whitaker. Kind of cool looking. I don't know what it is though. Almost looks like a giant beach ball. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up in this instead of another video. What? Okay, somebody was asking me during the last live stream if I could find these photos. Hey, BW Blue Sky, here you go. Here's one I remembered. There's one right there. Remember that? Here's another one. I got 4 different ones for you. BW Blue Sky. I was hoping you'd be here because I had to go dig deep for these. I mean, I knew where they were, but I go through a lot of photos. Last month, I went through 1,000 emails. And I want to thank you guys for sharing the photos and stuff. I really do appreciate that. And I go through every email myself. So if you got a response, you know, it came from me. And those of you that have sent stuff, just know that I'm trying to. Thank you, Jennifer Jackson, Baby Yoda. If you guys have sent emails, just know that I'm constantly working on the emails. It's honestly quite overwhelming, the amount of emails that I get. So I do my best to get through as many as I can. So thank you all in advance for all the pictures you send in. You guys are really wide awake and on the ball. All right, here's another one, different color, so slightly different format. There you go. Thank you guys for the super chats. Nicoletta, Trumpy Bear. Jenny Jackson saw the asteroid at Mount MERAPI. Thank you, Jenny. That was an incredible observation. Good job. So here is number 4. And this is a just a slightly different format, that's all. I did do a lot of work on this, so don't ask me exactly how I arrived at this particular color, but it was just a lot of different things. Couldn't tell you, to be honest. There it is, whatever it is. That was really neat. And that came in from, I want to say California, South Central California or something like that. Going to switch to something different now. This is a video that was sent in from Independence, Missouri by Jeff back about a year ago. In case, I'm just showing this, I ran across it when I was looking for the pictures I just showed you guys. And I wanted to show it again because it's such a rare event, you know, much like the asteroid and the volcanic eruption. You know, that's just a rare combo. What you're seeing right here is also very rare. And this was noticed by Jeff J. from Independence, Missouri, looking west at sunset. I mean, when you look at that and you ask yourself, how does nature pull something like that off? You know, it's just wild. That's all I can say. That has always been, it's just been one of my favorites. Cryptnosis369, thank you for the super chat. But look at this. I mean, how? That is an excellent video by Jeff out of Independence, Missouri. So I ran across that as I was looking for VW Blue Skies pictures. And I didn't forget, I actually wrote it down because I wanted to revisit them too. And I had this on the same drive. I go through a lot of external hard drives because I do go through a lot of data. In January, I went through 1,000 emails and probably 2,000 pictures. Last month was, I think, 900 emails, something like 1,600 pictures. I mean, you guys keep me busy. But I ran across this and I wanted to take a look at it again because it just astonishes me that something like that could occur up in the sky naturally. Because it looks so, I don't know, it looks unnatural. I mean, it looks like somebody's up there holding a giant spotlight. Look at that. I mean, how cool is that? Really? That is really cool. That was a great observation. Jeff from Independence, Missouri, right there. And he was looking to the west. Here's the coordinates. He was looking west, 7 p.m., April 13th of 2018. Right there. That was his exact spot, exact location. I'm going to look at this again. You can kind of see there's I guess a small halo maybe, or actually a big halo. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But that is absolutely astonishing. And I've only seen one other video ever that looked like this. And it was called Crown Flash. Only seen one. And I think this one here that Jeff caught was equally as good as the other one that I saw. But, you know, again, it's a head scratcher. It is a true head scratcher. I've never seen anything like that. And I'm a sky watcher. I've been a sky watcher for a long time. You guys have no idea how many pictures of the sky and planets and the moon and sun, different techniques that I've tried over the years. I couldn't even count how many I've taken. It's unbelievable. But, you know, I know a lot of you guys are too, and gals, you guys are sky watchers. It's once you become a sky watcher, it's very fascinating stuff up there because you know the possibilities are infinite. So when you see something like this, though, and you're a sky watcher, how do you wrap your mind around that? That is truly remarkable. So I just wanted to share that. You guys saw the date, April of 2018 is when I uploaded the original video. And this is what was in the original video right here. Thank you, Lucifer, for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that, guys. So one more time, in case you joined us, of the incredible light show from Independence, Missouri. This is retro, a look back in time, almost approaching 2 years ago. We're in March of 20, and this was April of 2018, but it is still a classic. That right there will always be a classic. About as classic as that asteroid going by the volcano, and then less than 48 hours later we got a full-fledged eruption on our hands. How about that? But this here is just something. Look at that, I'm telling you. I just sit here and scratch your head, man. How does something like that happen? For real. And then for a man to be wide awake to get his recording device out and record the event. And not only recorded it quite well. He was sitting at a stoplight. It's almost like he's on a tripod, but he's driving in a truck. We got a professional photographer here on our hands. He did a great job. Look at that. I mean, that's all his camera work. I just zoomed in. That's all I did. And he's driving a truck down the road. Here he's still driving west, about 7 p.m. Sun's back behind the clouds. Independence, Missouri. Looks like somebody's up there with a big old spotlight shining down on the clouds. That's a mind bender right there. That is a classic. April 2018. Got some more pictures I'm going to bring up. Since we're here, I'm going to go back to this quake animation real quick. So hang on just a second. Okay, this was sent in by Crypnosis369. And what I've done is gone in a little bit closer and I've lightened it up. He's describing a doorway of some sort in the side of a mountain over in Kenya. Look at that. Can you see it? I don't know. It looks like one to me. He just sent me that yesterday, I think it was, or a couple of days ago. He just ran across that. I'll go in a little bit closer. There you go. Now you can see it a little bit better. I don't know. Definitely looks different. Pretty cool. I've never seen anything quite like that. And I don't think it's just a random field, but it could be. I mean, there's always that possibility, you know. All right, check this one out. A gentleman by the name of Dean sent me a photo. Again, I think it was yesterday, maybe a couple days ago. And it reminded me of something I'd seen. And I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like, you know, the nebula up near Orion. You guys, I'm sure you've all seen the picture. It's called the Three Pillars of Creation right there. Well, I got to looking at the picture and I'm like, no way, it looked like the Three Pillars of Creation. So when I went and found it, sure enough, it's almost a spitting image. And I'm not exactly sure of the location. I'm waiting to hear back from him. But yeah, pretty incredible. The Three Pillars of Creation right here in the skies of planet Earth. How about that? A lot of really cool stuff going on if you're paying attention. A lot of cool stuff. Did go over and saw about the blue bananas. And believe it or not, he's waiting on more to come in. So as soon as I am able, it seems like these things are a pretty hot commodity, or at least they've turned into one. I don't think they've always been that way, but they are now for whatever reasons. So whenever I have a chance to get the blue banana, we'll do a live stream with the blue bananas, but I don't have any now. They did not have any. I was hoping that they would, but they did not. There we go. Just getting my computer dialed in. Here's an article I wanted to talk about real quick while we were here. It's something that you guys, I'm sure, have probably heard of. If not, we're going to talk about it a little bit here because we've talked about this 2 or 3 years ago. And this article came out just here recently in the Zen Herald, and it talks about scientists have discovered an enormous freshwater ocean hidden under the Atlantic Ocean. And back when we were following, and I know that I've had a lot of people ask, you know, where's the water anomalies? A lot of you were really interested in those, and trust me, I was too. But there just haven't been any to report on, you know, or at least any that I know of. I'm sure they're probably still happening. But one thing that we did entertain, an idea that we thought about was, what if there was an ocean under the ocean? And it was becoming, for whatever reason, destabilized or moving around or just up to something. Could it influence the water on the surface? You know, there's a moon around Saturn that has subsurface water, so it's not like it's something that's, you know, new and unheard of. It's certainly a possibility, and I think Earth is no different. I mean, it has to be. If you think about it, there's no way that Earth's crust cannot have you know, cracks that leak into, you know, inside the Earth. There's just no way. It probably always has, kind of like a ballast, a big ballast tank, you know, and it probably helps Earth's buoyancy and stuff. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that there is definitely an ocean under the ocean, and who knows what kind of sea life lives in it, you know, probably things that we may or may have never heard of, you know, unless they have a way in and out. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that there is. Article goes on to say, deep in the sea waters of the Atlantic, scientists from America have made a significant discovery during a mapping exercise of the area. In fact, this group of experts has managed to confirm the presence of a massive ocean hidden below the Atlantic, first suspected back in the 1970s. And the implications of their find could conceivably impact the entire world. So, yeah, I totally believe that. And I think that whatever this ocean does, however it influences the entire world, because you know it does, I think it was partly influencing these water anomalies that we were seeing around the world. Not entirely. Some of them were caused by, you know, hurricanes and you know, maybe extreme low tides. I know the moon influences these tides and coastal waters. Of course it does. It always has. But some of these coastal events were much larger than local natives that had lived there their entire life had ever seen. And they've seen, you know, hundreds, if not thousands, of high tides and low tides. And some of these events they had never seen before. So I was taking them as, you know, about the most credible witness you could possibly get, a lifelong local that lived in some of these areas. So that's why we kept track of those so very closely, because they were very intriguing, and the people that were viewing these water anomalies were very, very credible. It wasn't just some random person that had never been to the beach before and had never seen a low tide. I mean, these things were way more than that. I actually talked to a captain that had been, again, a 30-year veteran captain that had navigated the Caribbean Sea for many, many years. And he said there were new water currents in the Caribbean Sea that had just come on in the last couple of years, and this was in 2018, so they started in around 2016. And he said currents that he had never experienced before as a boat captain. And he'd been a boat captain for 30 years in the same area. So, you know, there was something to that. Never have figured it out and have not seen any for a while. So that tells us something was at play during that time. Exactly what? You know, we may never know. May never know, may never understand. And there's just some things that maybe we aren't meant to understand. I don't know. But if you guys live in these coastal areas, coastal Australia, coastal Ireland, Lena up in Ireland's always taking pictures of the Irish Sea. Anybody in the UK, coastal European areas, Spain, France, Africa, South Africa, Malaysia, the Philippines. If you guys see anything, Mexico, in fact, I got a couple from Mexico of water anomalies. I don't have any of the photos up. Maybe I'll have them for next live stream, and we'll revisit the water anomalies, because some of them, I'm telling you, were quite impressive, and they were way more than, you know, a low tide event. Way more. So that's something we'll do. In fact, I'm going to write a note to thyself. Next live stream. And that water anomalies. Alright, I got it written down. So what I'll do is, there's several videos. Maybe I'll pull a... Well, no, I'll just go find some pictures that I have. I've got a whole folder full of pictures of water anomalies. I keep all that stuff in separate folders. And we'll revisit the water anomalies. That was a very fascinating time that we went through. We triangulated those things all over the globe. Pretty cool. South America, we saw some off the coast of Brazil that left people completely baffled. They had never seen the water retreat from the coast that far. And I think that was kind of one of the first ones that got us started. And we're going to start visiting UV again. And I measure UV with respect to my area. You know, I'm in the northern hemisphere in North America, and we've been going through the winter months, and the sun's been at a very low angle. So yeah, I've checked the UV a few times, and it's been in the proper parameters, you know. I follow it closer in my summer, because it kind of gives me a better baseline of what the more extreme UV could potentially be in my local area. We don't necessarily have extreme UV in the wintertime. That's why I don't do the readings in the wintertime, guys, because I just don't have any extreme measurements, and I don't want any extreme measurements. In fact, last year, the measurements in my area out here in the desert were good. You know, I mean, for the most part, I never had any days that were, you know, like, wow, you know, that was a 16 or whatever. In fact, I've never had one that big. But sometimes, you know, the UV, for whatever reason, does get, you know, get up there pretty good. So it's like preparing yourself for a tornado or something like that. Just prepare, have a plan, or when you go outside, like I've said for years, you know, use sunblock, carry portable shade, wear a hat and sunglasses, that's all. And don't stay out in the direct sunlight in the summertime for extended periods of time if you can help it, because you're going to get dehydrated. The sun just feels different. And those of you that grew up, you know, like I did several years ago, you know, the sun feels different nowadays than it did when I was growing up as a kid. We're revisiting the asteroid one more time. That is crazy. Now the volcano is erupting, or it erupted this morning. That asteroid was spotted by Jenny J. Miss Jenny Jackson. So we'll start measuring UV. Where are we at? March 3rd, March, April. What I'll do is continue to measure it myself. I'm just not going to do a video every single day. I'll start measuring, I don't know, around the end of this month. And then we'll do regular measurements. Even though the sun won't be at its highest angle, I usually start in April. And I do UV readings April, May, June, July, and then into August. and it's all about that sun angle. When you can't see your shadow on the ground and the sun's directly over your head, that's your highest UV point of the day. And when you can see your shadow, whether it be in front of you or behind you, if the sun's rising, you're going to see your shadow, and your shadow is going to be long. And when the sun is setting, your shadow is going to be long. You know, that's the lowest point of UV during the daylight hours. When you cannot see your shadow, that is when you should have maximum protection from UV. Whether it be indoors, shade, portable shade, hat, sunglasses. I even emphasize long sleeves, and I practice what I preach. I wear long sleeves. I wear that thin stuff. What's it called? Air dry or whatever. It's not hot. You know, I'd be crazy to wear long sleeves out here, cotton long sleeves in 110 degrees. I couldn't do it. But I wear that real thin stuff. And it's actually UV resistant. So I do it. But we'll start doing UV readings again. Let's see, by the end of the month. I have people from Texas, California, Montana, Wisconsin. I had people from Florida, which I was getting good readings from Florida because it's a subtropical climate, and I always am curious what the UV is in Florida. Had a guy from Portland. And the Netherlands, Spain. Get UV readings from all over the world. Australia. And I know sometimes, especially in the central outback and the coastal areas too of Australia, the UV can get pretty high down there at times. I know it can. I've seen it, I think, up in the 17 range, and that's UVAB. So VW, the blue sky, I did not forget your photos, and what I'm going to do, in fact, I'll do it this evening. I'm going to retrieve water anomaly photos, and we used to keep track of, but I haven't been getting reports, and I do this stuff all based off of reports that are sent in and reports obviously that I run across. It's not like I just sit and dwell on, you know, water anomalies. I don't. When they come in, then I start to look around. You know, I check certain sources I use. Surfline is one that I've used. I use it pretty much on a daily basis, watching the coastlines. And then I have people send me in stuff that live along the coast of what they would consider, because I have to take their word for it, what they would consider. Brian from Navarre, Florida, he's wide awake down there in the Florida Panhandle, and he's seen some water anomalies, and he's lived there his whole life. What he would consider, you know, much greater than a low tide, average low tide, or, you know, event like that. And he has shared some really good pictures to where, you know, the water had disappeared almost out of eyesight. You know, that's way more than a tug from the moon. You know what I mean? So I'll find those pictures. I've got some from let's see, Tampa, along the coast of Florida, if I'm not mistaken, both sides. Over in North Carolina, those sounds in North Carolina, I've got some good pictures from there. Brazil, Spain. Remember Spain when that ancient Roman aqueduct was uncovered? That was like 2,000 years old. So that just tells you right there that was a rare event, or that would have been found a long time ago. You know what I mean? During just a random lunar low tide. No, they found a 2,000-year-old aqueduct system that was fairly intact. It's just amazing. But for whatever reasons, just about as curious as they started, they quit. And have not seen any, or I just shared them with you guys. Absolutely. What I'm going to do with the website when I get it reconfigured, I've got to rebuild the website. It definitely needs upgraded, but I'm going to have a feature on there of all of the water anomalies that we've discovered, and that's you guys. You know, you guys bring a lot of that stuff to me. We'll have a whole section just for that. We were following animal behavior for a while, and I know a lot of you like that, but I can't report on something that I don't have, you know. So that, for whatever reason, around the same time, pretty close, that we were having water anomalies, it seemed like animal creatures around the earth were behaving in mysterious ways. You know, a wild squirrel. I remember a guy sent me pictures. He was sitting out in the backyard, and a random squirrel just came and sat on his lap. He'd never seen anything like it, and it came straight from the tree. It was not a pet. Creatures trying to get in people's homes. It was just really weird. So I'm going to have a section like that on the website. Things that we visited, you know, a couple of years ago, and I'm going to have it archived on the website. But got to do some things before I can get that done. So, but we got to do that. The website's out of date. It may not look like it. Maybe it does look like it to you, but I definitely need a mobile friendly version. Just a lot of different things that this website is actually in need of. So going to have to rebuild it here soon. I'm going to add some new stuff and keep the same stuff that's on here. I'm not going to, you know, change anything on the website that's already there. I'm going to add some stuff to it, though. So there's going to be even more content that you have access to. And my goal is to have that completed this year. Keep the sky phenomena going, transfer everything that you see on the website to the new hosting service, wherever it ends up being. And if you guys know anybody that's good at stuff like that, let me know. Reports at MrMBB333.com. Maybe you use a service that's really good and you're pleased with. So I do have a lot of content on the website, and I'm going to add even more. It's got a lot of pages, so it's not just a one-page WordPress. There's a lot there. So I reached out to a guy here a couple of months ago, and he couldn't do it. So I got to find somebody that knows what they're doing. So I want to keep it. Basically, I want to keep it exactly the same, but it just needs updated. That's all. So we'll get it done. We'll get it done. It'll be even better. We'll have more stuff on it. Even more. I think the sky phenomena photo gallery's got, it's in the 3,000 range now, maybe 4,000 pictures, probably more than that. And that gallery's from you guys. I mean, I've got a couple of pictures in there. I mean, I'm a sky watcher. I'm out there taking pictures. I'm usually out early in the morning with the scope. In fact, I'm getting the dust off of the scope now. I'm getting it calibrated, and we are getting ready for Comet Atlas in the Big Dipper. It's coming in. rendezvous with the sun in May, about 2.5 months. And we might see a daytime comet. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to see it in the morning. I know that with that telescope. Probably, well, if it's not cloudy. It's been cloudy here the last couple of days. In fact, we were supposed to get rain, but like I said, we didn't in our area. I think they did north of us. But if it's clear tomorrow morning, then I'll get the scope, go outside, and try to first find Comet Atlas. And if I can find it, then I'll get some images of it, and I may be able to go live, and we can look at it live. No guarantees, but I'm definitely going to try when it gets closer for sure. Right now, it just got about as close as the sun is to Earth, so it's inside of 100 million miles now. I think it's around 95 million miles from the Earth, so it's going to be a little difficult to find, but I know at least where to look. I know where to look. So if I get a good clear morning, and I can have 2 clear mornings in a row, if I can find it and get the coordinates, then I'll get everything set up for a live stream, hopefully, weather permitting. But we've had a lot of clouds here lately. Not a lot, but enough to interfere with any type of sky viewing. Kind of like these satellites that are orbiting the Earth now. I've stepped out, let's see, where are we at? Tuesday, it was last week. I was outside early, a couple of mornings, and I had just went outside and looked up, and there they went. Those StarLink satellites. One time they were from my position, they were in the northeast, moving northwest to southeast. They were to my left, they were in the eastern sky. And then the next morning, and again, I wasn't looking for these things, they were just there. And they're what's happening, they're interfering with these big, powerful telescopes. And that's what made me think of it, because when I get my scope out, it's not like it's huge, but I saw Starlink again, but this time it was over in the southwestern sky to my right, traveling once again northwest to southeast. But they had switched, orientation, and they were right to the right of me this time. But I think I counted 30. Melanie's been seeing them up in Idaho, going over their place, and their outdoor cameras are picking them up. So can you imagine having a 24-foot refractor, and then those things fly right in front of your field of view? It's happening. It's happening right now, and these things are recordable. I have a video of it myself from your smartphone. If the skies are really super clear and conditions are just right where you don't have any moonlight, yeah, you can record them with your smartphone. I did, and I have a little bit of light pollution, and I managed to pick them up. So I guess they're wanting people to record these with your smartphone if you're able to. Because I guess they're going to put thousands of more. Can you imagine if you're an astronomer and you're trying to do some work and you've got these lights constantly going in your field of view, these satellites orbiting the Earth? Not like there's not enough up there already, and we're going to put thousands of more. Thousands of more. And like I said, I stepped outside 2 out of 3 mornings last week and just randomly looked up, and there they were. And that was the farthest thing from my mind. I just looked up and saw a string of lights moving through the sky. And I recorded them one day when they were to the northeast of me. And I did record them. But if you guys can record them, I guess they're asking people to record them. I've got an article somewhere. I'll post it in the description box down below. But they flew in front of the big telescope at Lowell Observatory when they were in the middle of doing some sort of a research assignment. And then here come this 30-string row of lights that took 8 minutes to clear the sky. It's just like, wow. For internet, why are we so eager to put internet in places where people don't live? That's what I don't get. If it's to revolutionize the internet and put it into the whole world, well, why are you worried about putting internet, you know, at the top of Mount Everest or the top of the Andes Mountains? You know, there's not like there's metropolises of people living up there. So, I don't know. But yeah, if you see them and you can record them, record away. Alright guys, I'm going to take another look at the eruption from early this morning. Actually, this occurred yesterday, our time, yesterday evening. This occurred on March 3rd down in Indonesia, the same exact volcano that the asteroid went past less than 48 hours ago. And you can find the article in the description box. Just amazing. What are the odds of that happening? I don't know. I've never seen it. An asteroid zips by a 10,000 foot volcano and it erupts 48 hours later. And again, I don't think it was influenced at all by the asteroid. It's just a wild coincidence, you know. But I don't really believe in coincidence, but I don't know. Here comes again. Here's a closer look at the asteroid that was noticed by Miss Jenny Jackson. Oh, look at that. Went behind the volcano. And then we'll see a huge flash of light. And the volcano erupts less than 48 hours later. Now that's what you call an exciting 48 hours. Look at that. That angle, it implies to me, and it's no telling how long that thing was visible in the atmosphere out over the Pacific Ocean. And then it ended up, I think, in the Indian Ocean. If I had my calculations right, I think it went into the Indian Ocean. Just incredible. And then 48 hours later, less than 48 hours later, the volcano erupts, Mount MERAPI. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. I got some homework I got to do tonight. I'm going to find the pictures from water anomalies that we're just gonna go back in time a little bit and revisit the water anomalies. And if you guys are with us now, if you live along the coastal areas, pay attention. I know you guys do, but if you see any water anomalies or that you would consider, take a picture of it, send it in to reports at MrMBB333.com. That's something we followed a couple years ago. Then they just quit. Never knew why they started and didn't know why they quit. And they very well could still be going on. It's just that maybe they're not being as noticeable or people aren't seeing them. I don't know. But the ones that we used to see a couple of years ago, they were quite obvious. And they were way much more than a low tide event. So if you guys see any, by all means, send them in and keep the excellent photos coming. You can send your photos to reports at MrMBB333.com, and all of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery at the website. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day, And be safe out there.